ladies and gentlemen, Brian McKnight is under a lot of heat for something that he said about his biological children. He said they are a product of sin. This is what he said. And he took to social media. Sometimes you should not air your issues or personal family issues on social media. But this is what he did. This is what he did. Brian McKnight said he doesn't claim his estranged biological kids because they are a product of sin. So during a Q&A session on Instagram, back at 1, Singer responded to a fan who defended his decision to no longer claim his 4 older biological children, Brian Jr., Nico, Brianna, and Clyde, because some relatives can be pure. Wow. So he goes on to say, now he's 54 years old, and this was in an Instagram video. He goes on to say, this is Brian McKnight, in order to live a life that you love, you have to get rid of the evil and the negativity, even if that evil and negativity is related to you. So he's justifying discarding his biological kids. That's his way of justifying it. Now, his current wife is Asian, and she had children from a previous relationship, and he fully embraces those children. And they have a child together. And he says that child is his only child, the one that he has with his Asian wife. And the 4 children he had in his first relationship, he just completely don't acknowledge those children. They're a product of sin. Wow. Okay. So a separate fan commented, writing that McKnight disowned his children and has gone against God. So I'm going to show you this post. I have it actually. I'll put it up on the screen. All right, so here is the post. So someone wrote, Pack 1913. This is what they wrote. The same God that said, honor your mother and your father, also said, children are a gift from the Lord. They are a reward from him. And train up a child in the way he should go. And when he is older, he will not depart from it. Your children are a reflection of the work and prayer and spirituality and moral compass that parents pour into kids. You disowned kids that you created, and you are also against God. But judgment day is between you and your maker. So hashtag carry on. So he responded. This is what Brian McKnight 23 wrote. 1, God wasn't talking. I think he means talking, and he wrote taking. God wasn't taking about children that are the product of sin, which these are. So he's talking about his biological kids. And 2, I didn't raise them, their mother did. So it cuts off there. Wow. Can you imagine? And I think They said his kids did see this. Wow, that is pretty rotten. Now, this is not the first time Brian McKnight came under fire. This past October, he was slammed for changing his name to become a senior to his newborn son. So he has a biracial child with his Asian wife. Although he was already a senior to his eldest son, Brian Jr. So proud to introduce our son, Brian Kanoa McNoah Jr. Oh boy. So, to the world with the release of my new album, Loving, created for him, JR, because I am also proud to officially announce that I have legally changed my name to exactly match my legacy. He's talking about his newborn son. McKnight, who shares a newborn with his wife, Leilani Mendoza, said his name is now Brian Kanoa McCoa McKnight Sr. So that's Brian McKnight's new name. So he renamed himself to match his son. That way his newborn son can be a junior. So he got a Brian Jr. with his first wife, and he's got a Brian Jr. with his second wife. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. So, of course, it didn't go over well. Fans took to social media to call the R&B legend wicked and vile, and for trying to disassociate himself from his four eldest children, whom he shared from previous relationships. McBrien is so wicked, treated one critic. So this was out on X. He changed his last name to McCoa McBrien. So he could name his newborn Brian Jr. when he already had a son named Brian McKnight Jr. Wow. So they said that was low down and wicked. I've never seen anyone proudly demonstrate how much they hate their children like Brian McKnight, added another user. Changing his name to match the newborn when he already got a junior is next to cruel. He's a trash human being for not only doing it, but also putting on display to the world. Wow. You know what? I think she's Latina. She just looks Asian. I think she's Latina, y'all. His wife, the woman he's married to now. So McKnight's eldest son also reacted to his estranged father's name change. He goes on to say, this is what his son said: I'm not ashamed of the name of my ancestors. He replied, I'll never change my name. And this is what his own son said, his eldest son. We are witnessing an obscene level of self hate that has reached mental illness status at this point. So that's what his eldest son said. Although it's unknown why McKnight has decided to cut his eldest children from his life, wow, he first hinted at it back in 2019 when I guess there was a feud going on, when he called the children entitled. I've never missed a day of child support, he said at the time. I've never done anything adverse to my children whatsoever. I've always been there. I've always been there with advice, whether they took it or not. So, this is what Brian McKnight is saying. All right. So, he has two stepchildren with this wife and an infant son. And he says his infant son is his only biological child. This is what he's saying. And his eldest son said, "This is a case of self hate." Y'all gonna have to tell me what you think about this video. I don't think this should have been posted on social media. I think Brian McKnight should have been using a lot better discretion than to put this out there, because see, it's like anything else. Once you put something on social media, it's out here forever. His children from his previous relationships will see this, and their children will see it. And this is not the place to air family grievances. I just believe if you are having issues within your family, social media is probably the worst place you can come with those issues. I have never seen a situation turn out right yet when people do that. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.